This video will do one of three things: make Garmin invent a whole new product and highlight a current shortcoming in their range to anyone looking to give them their money, or have you tell me why they don't need to and I'm an idiot for thinking they should, or have you tell me why they already have something that does what I want and I'm an idiot for thinking they didn't. So, 66% chance I come out looking like an idiot. Buckle up. If you follow this channel or my Instagram, you'll know that I am a week into trying a Whoop strap to give me performance and recovery data based on 24/7 monitoring. In due course, I'll do a longer video on how this trial's gone and whether I'm going to keep it or not. But this video is about Garmin, or rather what Garmin need to do to stop people like me even considering a Whoop strap in the first place. So, some background that elaborates on what I covered in my last video on this. I have a Garmin Fenix 6X and a Garmin Edge bike computer. Both of these have what Garmin call Physio TrueUp, which is a more comprehensive version of their standard TrueUp that's available on some models lower down the Garmin range. What does all that mean? Well, data synchronization between devices and Garmin Connect, their app. TrueUp will take steps, calories and floors, so basic tracking, and Physio TrueUp will also add VO2 max, training load, race predictor. In fact, it takes a load of extra stuff as well. It means exercise recorded on this, say a run, and exercise recorded on this, say a bike ride, gets synced to Garmin Connect and each other. So I can see on the app or the watch what my exercise load looks like, how much I've done, my last activity. Basically, my effort and training is monitored very well and kept up to date brilliantly. But effort is half the picture. No problem, because the other thing that the Fenix monitors really well is how drained I am using body battery. It takes heart rate variability, stress, activity, sleep, and shows how much gas in the tank I have left. I like it a lot. It's very motivating, for example, to see in the evening that I might not be as depleted as I think, because this tells me I can then jump on the bike in here or go out for a run when otherwise I might not bother. It also shows when I'm simply under the weather or need more rest and should be taking it easy. So if I wear this 24/7 and use this on the bike, I get all my exertion and all the recovery monitoring, and I can balance the two accordingly. Do you need all that? Of course not, but I like it and I find it useful. But I don't want to wear this beast 24/7. Don't get me wrong, I love it, especially how it looks. If this existed in 1987 and Dutch was left-handed, it would have been arm wrestling CIA pencil pushers. People have suggested smaller sports watches for me, or even an Apple Watch. I don't want to look like I work at the Genius Bar and drink skinny lattes. I want my sports watch looking sporty. But there are times when I want to take it off. At night, for example, it is a bit of a lump. If I roll over in bed and whack Jenna with something huge, she might get a bit annoyed. If I hit her with a watch, she'd be furious. And some days I just want to wear my other watches. Maybe I'm out for dinner, or it's a business meeting and I'm in a suit. You introduce yourself to someone wearing this, and the colouring of your business card will not be what catches their eye.
That's bone.
They'll think you look like a dick. Hence, Whoop. Discreet, all-day tracking that leaves my wrist free for whatever I want. It monitors exertion, like Garmin, they call it strain, and it monitors recovery, like Garmin, they call it recovery, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Now, I'm only a week into it, and already I can tell you the software is brilliant. The hardware, or at least the tech inside it, maybe less so. In the first few days of using it, I got a dog walk rate more strainful than a run. Heart rate spiked to 160 for 5 minutes during games night with the kids. Games night is not that exciting. It would then fail to auto-detect my runs. It thought I went to sleep when I was watching TV. It said my pulse never went over 60 during a 10k jog. And it had me down as awake from 3 AM just because I woke up briefly. The list goes on. I've worn this on my wrist, inside and out, my forearm, my bicep. I don't think there's any body part I haven't tried wrapping this around, within reason. It's just not that great a heart rate monitor. If I use a chest strap hooked up to the Fenix, I can see this soften out by 10 or 15 beats a minute just sat still. So early days with it, but it was enough problems that had me wondering if maybe I was missing something, a way to get 24/7 monitoring from Garmin, but without this on my wrist all day, without having to resort to another device from another company and another app. Enter the Garmin Vivosmart 4. Vivosmart, whatever. I thought I had cracked it. This little gadget monitors body battery and is discreet enough to wear on my right wrist, meaning I can then wear a regular watch on my left. I don't look too much like a double watch muppet. See? Not too much anyway. So my plan was to turn off specific exercise tracking on the Vivosmart and wear it only to monitor the factors that are used for the body battery measurement. When I run, I wear this. When I bike, I use this. And maybe this goes back on when I just feel like looking sporty or fighting aliens.
Knock, knock.
At which point I can put the Vivosmart on charge. Solved. The Whoop can go back. No. Turns out, after reading a zillion online discussions moaning about this exact issue that I should probably have read before I bought the Vivosmart, body battery is not part of the data that syncs between devices using TrueUp or even Physio TrueUp. You have to pick just one device to send body battery info to the app. So if I take the Vivosmart off and put the Fenix on, my primary body battery data stops. And the Fenix records some pointless data because it has no idea what else I've done that day other than the stuff that this has synced, which is really just steps and floors that I climbed, not enough. So I have useless body battery information on the Fenix that never makes it to the app anyway, and body battery data on this that is now missing information because it's not been on my wrist 24/7. And to make matters worse, I spent all day yesterday with a chest strap on, the Fenix, the Whoop and the Vivosmart, and assuming the chest strap was accurate, the Fenix was very close to accurate on heart rate, the Whoop actually not too bad, but the Vivosmart is pretty poor. I think the issue for me is bony wrists. The Fenix and the Whoop have this really big kind of plate-like surface area on the Fenix that keeps it flat on the wrist. Obviously the Whoop is a pretty substantial unit, although it's quite flush to the skin, it sits very firmly on it. This Vivosmart is just a bit kind of narrow and wobbly. I just don't feel that it's getting great contact with the skin. Maybe that's a problem, maybe not. Either way, it's not ideal as a heart rate monitor. So Garmin, in order that I am not left with the only real option being to have Whoop track me 24/7 and Garmin just track my running and riding, which would be a real pain. I've already got a Zwift account, a Wahoo account, Trainer Road, all in the background. I don't want another source of numbers. This is what Garmin need to invent. Now this is a concept model only, it is not a finished item, but the concept is this. It's a strap that doesn't look like a watch, so it can go on either wrist or arm, freeing up options for a regular watch to be used, or no watch. This needs to monitor whatever is needed for accurate body battery results and do it well. And it has to use Physio TrueUp so the data is saved and merged perfectly with any other Garmin device. Or do what Whoop did and make it comfy enough that you never take it off and provide on-the-go charging. But really, being able to swap this out while I wear this and charge this and have this take over measuring in the meantime, that's really the way to go, and have it all sync up again. Call it the Garmin Strippy Strap, call it what you like. I don't care, just get it made. You only have to Google body battery multiple devices to see there's a demand for this. In fact, people buying Whoop straps in the first place shows there's a demand for 24/7 data. Actually, people aren't even buying these. You subscribe to Whoop and pay them every month. So for now, the Whoop trial is ongoing in conjunction with wearing the Vivosmart 24/7 as well, just in case it does turn out to be viable. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but if I end up keeping the Whoop, it will only be until this thing exists. Garmin, get to work. And it doesn't even need to be yellow.